We are halfway through the year, and I really don't know where the past 6 months went. It's like that saying that the days are long, but the years are short. I know I did a whole lot of living this past 6 months. We had a lot of great memories. I did make some progress on some of my goals, but there's just so much more I want to accomplish this year, and I am nowhere near where I wanted to be with some of my bigger goals. So I'm doing a huge reset this month. There's still so much left of this year, and I really don't want you to get discouraged and just give up on that person you wanted to be by the end of the year. You just need to make some adjustments and some tweaks. And if you are completely feeling overwhelmed, please do yourself a favor and book a discovery call with me today and discover how I can help you get back on track to get your days, your weeks, your months in order, and how I can help you create space and time in your schedule to work on your goals. How I could teach you how to take control of your schedule so your schedule is not controlling you. So check out my show notes for those links. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Kerri, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. Today is all about helping you get those goals back on track. I think it was Mel Robbins that shared this fact that 88% of people give up on their New Year's resolutions within the first 2 weeks of the year. That's pretty sad statistics. And think of all the hopes and dreams that were lost in that 88%, all the best intentions that just fell to the wayside. Don't be that 88%. Don't give up. God put those goals on your heart for a reason, and I'm sure most of your goals, when you really break them down, were intended to make you healthier, happier, more stable. All great things. So today, I am helping you hit that reset button. And I also want you to check out episode 4, where I go in depth about this topic too. I have a bunch of episodes on goal setting, so make sure you check them out. And if you already listened to them during this mid-year resetting process, re-listen to them because there's little golden nuggets in every episode. So let's jump in to today's episode. Number 1, break out those goals and start reflecting. Take some time to go through each of your goals that you wrote down for yourself. And this is where journaling really helps. I suggest setting some time aside to really work on this. Maybe go to your local coffee shop and treat yourself to your favorite latte, or sit by the pool, or better yet, on a beach, and just have some time for you. Go through your goals and really be honest with yourself. Ask yourself some questions and just start writing. Where are you with this goal? If you set a SMART goal, like you were supposed to, you made them specific, you made them measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound. If you followed this process and made them measurable and time-bound, then you should easily be able to go back and look to see if you're on track or not. Like my big weight loss goal. I was doing great, but then I got sick and it totally threw me off track. I was supposed to be 10 pounds lighter at this point. So while I did make progress on that goal, I'm not where I plan to be. So once you identify where you are with the goal, then the reflection piece comes in. You're going to ask yourself why you are where you are. What has worked for you? What is holding you back? The what is holding you back is the piece that you really need to identify for each of your goals, so you know what you need to do to tweak in your schedule, in your life, in your mindset to really hit that reset button. And let's be honest here, a lot of what holds you back in your life is you, your excuses, your negative mindset, and the only person that can change all of that is you. I could help you with that, but you need to do the work. You need to put in the time. No one can do that piece for you. And after you do that process, then you really need to assess to see if your goals are still relevant. And if they are, then you really need to sit down, reprioritize which are important. Maybe there is one that really sticks out that you really want to crush by the end of the year. Like me, creating my time management course, I'm putting it out there in the universe. And my health goals, of course. And maybe there were some goals that were nice to have, but that really aren't important, like reading 12 books this year. So you're going to go through this process because if you find yourself spreading your energy around so many goals and only doing little bits of pieces of each of your goals, you're not really making a lot of progress on any of them. So why not pick the top ones, or maybe even just the one, and double down your time and your energy for the next 6 months on that one goal and see how far you can get. Again, check out episode 4, linking it in the show notes, where I go in detail step by step on how to readjust your goals mid-year. Number 2, Prioritize and focus. You're going to identify the most important tasks that will have the biggest impact on your goals, which starts with making a list of all the tasks that it takes to achieve your goals, which again, if you're following that SMART method, you will have it already. But a great tool for this is the Eisenhower matrix, which is a way to categorize your tasks by urgency and importance. It's a great tool for goal planning, especially when you're juggling a whole lot of responsibilities like us working moms. So picture a simple 4-quadrant grid. In the top left, you have tasks that are both urgent and important. These are your must-dos. The top right is for important and not urgent tasks. These are your long-term goals and projects that need consistent attention but aren't your absolute must-dos. The bottom left is for urgent but not important tasks. These are the ones that you can delegate to someone else if you have to. Outsource where you can, mamas. And lastly, the bottom right is for the tasks that are neither urgent nor important, and consider if they're worth your time at all. Using this matrix really helps you focus and get a visual of what truly matters and where you can really work smarter, not harder. Number 3, block time for your goals. You knew this one was coming. As you plan your week, you need to be adding time blocks to work on your goals. If your health is your goal, you're blocking time for working out, you're blocking time to meal plan, which may include extra time to research some recipes. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I just started working with a home fitness instructor. Shout out to Becky from Home Gym Action Plan. If you're in the Cranford, New Jersey area or surrounding towns, I highly recommend her. Check out my show notes for her info. She created a workout routine for me that fits within my schedule that I can easily time block 3 times a week because that's what I'm able to commit to. And in that time block, I know I have to work out. But if you're not time blocking that time, then you know something else will come up. So whatever your goals are, make sure you're prioritizing them, building them into your weekly schedule, putting them on your shared family calendar so that your spouse, and if your kids are on your calendar too, know that in this time block, this is what mama's doing. And this is a perfect segue into number 4, set boundaries. You cannot have balance without boundaries. You need to establish clear boundaries between work, your family, and your personal time. And it's easier to set those boundaries when you really think of your schedule in reference to time blocks. I know for most of us, the hardest boundary to set is with work, but that's probably the number one place you need it. If you have set hours like 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, then try to close your computer, or if you have to go into an office, shut down and walk out the door at 5 o'clock. I know it's hard, and I'll be honest, I used to be so much better at closing my computer at 5 and not thinking about it, but work has gotten a little crazy and a lot more demanding, and I'm really hoping that it's just a season, but I try to close my computer no later than 6, and I do not look at it again. I don't look at emails, and I don't take any calls after that time. I'm working on trying to go back to my 5 p.m. cutoff because it's the summer, and my family and my mental health really needs those boundaries. I could go on and on about setting work boundaries, but that's not the only place you need them. You really need them at home, with your family, with your friends, with anyone that's demanding on your time. And going back to the time blocks, if you set a time block to do a specific task, communicate with your family, with your friends, or whoever needs to be aware and tell them that this is your uninterrupted time to work on whatever it is you want to work on or whatever it is that you want to do within those time blocks. This is one of the reasons I get up so early, because my morning is my morning. It is my time for my morning routine, to work on this podcast, to plan my day. And at that time, no one else is competing for my time because no one else is crazy enough to get up at 4:20 in the morning and ask me to do something. So set those boundaries. Number 5, say no. This is another big one for me. As part of your reflection process, really look at all the things that you said yes to so far this year that took up your time. Then really think about whether they're helping you achieve your goals. And this goes back to yesterday's podcast episode. If you haven't listened to it yet, go back and listen, episode 111. Really think about whether they're helping you achieve your goals or holding you back. And by holding you back, I mean, could you have used that time you spent doing that thing, working on your goals, or doing something else on your to-do list that would have then freed up your time in your schedule to work on your goals? My June was so rough that I made very little progress on any of my goals because I took on way too much. I don't regret it, but it did make me realize that I'm not going to hit my goals volunteering as much as I do. So I made the tough decision to say, I'm not volunteering for anything else until my course is done and launched. So that's a big thing for me because I love to serve. I might volunteer here and there a few hours where it aligns with my values, but I'm not taking on anything that involves planning or coordinating or managing that will take up time before that actual event, because that bit me in the butt big time this year. Number 6, seek support. This is, again, one of the most important tips that I'm covering today, and one that I'm focusing on for myself. Get support where you can. Don't hesitate to ask your spouse, your family, or your friends for help. Last week's podcast episode was all about how to get your family to help out more around the house and help you create that time and space in your schedule so you could work on your goals. So check that out. I'll also link it in the show notes. But as moms, we take on so much. And sometimes, well, most of the times, it's just easier for us to do things around the house rather than fight with our kids to get them done or to ask our spouses to do it. And then it doesn't get done the way we want it done. But taking the time to first have the conversations and then taking the time to teach and create routines around the things you want help with is worth the investment of your time and your energy upfront. Also, outsource tasks and hire help where you need it. A mother's helper on a weekend to watch the kids while you focus on you. A house cleaner to do a deep clean every other week so that you don't have to stress over the house being dirty. Think of those tasks that take up most of your time, most of your headspace and energy, and really think of how you can get the support to get it off your plate and just do it. Number 7, cut back on those time sucks. If you really take the time to look at what you're spending your time on in a week, I'm sure you can find a few hours here and there. The amount of time you spend scrolling social media, which I have got a great tech timeout guide freebie for you mamas filled with tips on how to set those boundaries with your cell phone. Do yourself a favor, check out the show notes for the link and get your free guide today. But also look at the amount of time you spend watching TV. I really don't watch TV anymore. We watch Young Sheldon as a family, and those shows are really short, but I really don't watch more than that. It's just a really big time suck. And I'll share a little story. I was really sick for 2 weeks recently, and Russ planned a trip to bring the kids to see his mom, and I was supposed to spend that weekend batch recording podcast episodes for when we're in Greece so that I didn't have to stress over it. I was working on a podcast episode and went to check something on a website, and an advertisement for the new season of Bridgerton came up, and I love Bridgerton. So the temptation was real, so I figured I would just allow myself to watch one episode. It was also when I was sick, so I convinced myself that I deserved to rest for a little bit. Well, I ended up binging the entire series and only ended up getting that week's episode done, and now have to figure out how to get 3 extra episodes done in the next 2 weeks. So I don't have to bring my podcast mic with me on vacation, which I really don't want to do. So yeah, TV can be a major time suck. And side note, I loved the new season of Bridgerton and was a little sad when it was over. I might have to rewatch it again with Russ, which I know I'm here telling you to stop watching TV. Then I'm telling you how great the show is. I'm terrible, sorry, but moderation is okay. Just don't spend hours watching TV. This is a great place to hit that pause button. If you can't tell by now, I am very passionate about goal planning and helping you achieve your goals and the dreams you have for yourself. And just because you're a mom does not mean that you have to focus all of your time and energy on your family. It is not selfish to carve out time in your week for yourself and your goals. Having time for yourself, for your dreams, for your passion, that is what is going to give you the balance that you crave and you deserve. Make sure you come back next week for part 2 of our goal reset, and come on over and hang out with us in our Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms, and let's help keep each other accountable on our big goals this year. And if you don't already follow the show, take that extra second, hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life, or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat.